Welcome to yet another episode of United Guns of America. And today we are going to review another awesome firearm. This firearm is none other than the Springfield XDM 9. It is the one of the smallest, or should I say subcompact or compact handguns that you can carry. However, it is a very, very good firearm. I love the craftsmanship. I love the way this gun feels, and also this is definitely a special one that I'm doing because this is actually my wife's gun. This is the gun that she carries every day. This is her everyday carry piece. She loves this gun. She shoots it very well, of course, because I taught her. That's right. But she shoots this gun very well. I am very comfortable with her carrying this firearm. It has a lot of great features. It's just, man, the thought that they put into doing this particular series of firearms, I love it. They covered all of the bases. They gave you a lot of options. And one of the things I like about Springfield is that Springfield doesn't just do a gun in a box. They give you magazines. They give you the magazine holders for your belt. They give you a really nice case. They just take they just go that extra mile in when they hand out their firearm. When you purchase a firearm from them, what you get in it, a lot of gun manufacturers don't give those things. So I definitely like Springfield for that aspect as well. Kudos to them. But it is definitely just overall high quality, very well made. Works flawlessly. I actually love what this gun can do, and I'm gonna just go over it. And let's start with just basically saying that, hey, one of the first things about this is a compact 9mm. As you can see here, you can see that it is a 3.8-inch barrel. If you look at the the slide here, it is stainless steel with a black barrel. And also this fancy hot pink color field there, that is done by yours truly. Yes, I did that for my wife because I love her so very much, and I wanted her to have something that she thought was cute and that she can pull out and be like, it's got her girly touch to it. But this boy rocks. I shoot this gun, I carry this gun, and I'm glad that she has a very reliable firearm. I think that when a lot of people look at firearms, and not to be, just talking about the women, but a lot of women, they look at firearms and they definitely put the cute factor is high on their list. Ladies, I know you like a cute firearm. Oh, it's got the Tiffany's color to it. Oh, it's purple. Oh, it's pink, the handle. That's all fine and dandy, but first and foremost, you got to make sure that you have something that feels good, something that works well, something that performs well, and then you can get into the looks and the aspect of it. So looks are important. I get it because y'all know me. With my guns, I like them to be so shiny. I love the Tomatoa style on my firearms as well. But I definitely, so I definitely get that aspect of it. But you have to make sure that you cover the main points first. You want to make sure that your gun has the good capacity. Like I said, it's well made, works well, feels good in your hand, so that you have that confidence. Because if you're in that situation to where you have to do the unfortunate or the unthinkable thing of actually pulling that firearm to use it, you don't want to be sitting there thinking, well, it looks good, but will it work? You don't want that thought in your mind. So you can have something that works, and then you can dress it up, jazz it up if you want to. I don't know about bedazzling it. I don't want to see y'all putting no rhinestones or no glitter on your guns. You don't do that. But you can do something like a color field like I did here. And actually, you can even see where it kind of like wore off here. I got to touch it up. I'm going to touch your gun up, baby. Don't worry. Because I did this, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. So, yeah, so you can touch this up and it'll look good, and it'll bring its exuberance back. Give it a little sprucing up, so we can do that. But be that as it may, this is a polymer frame gun, so you can see the polymer here. This is basically the plastic. You got your metal parts there, and you got your all steel slide and barrel. Now, one of the things about this is a striker fire gun, and it does, like the Glock is a striker fire, and this does have 3 safeties on it, which I love. I love number one, it has the good old-fashioned trigger safety, which is this guy right here. Let's go ahead and move that little pin there, which is this guy right here. So when you got that, that trigger will not pull until you actually depress that little piece inside. You got that. This also has the internal, or the, what do you call it, like the drop safety that's in there as well. It basically blocks the firing pin from engaging. It keeps it disengaged until you actually grab it with this one, because this one has a third safety option, which is, let me see if I can turn this guy around, which is this here, the grip or the palm safety. Now you'll see this on like some 1911s. They have this feature here. It's not as smooth as this one is, a little bit bigger, but with that all steel frame on the 1911, it definitely works well. It looks good too. But yeah, this guy here is a palm or grip safety, so that means that none of this will work until you actually grab that gun there. Once you grab that, you automatically disengage one of the safeties there. So now that internal drop safety is actually disengaged as well, and then when you finally put your finger on the trigger and depress that, now your gun is actually hot. So it's not until you get this guy down and you get that guy down that the gun will actually begin to work, and that firing mechanism can be, or firing sequence can begin, whatever you want to call it. But I like that about this gun, because when you're talking about having a gun and that gun is laying around the house for safety purposes, a small child can't pick this up and get this to work that well. And I'm talking like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 year old, they don't have enough purchase to get their finger and their hand on this gun like this to be able to make this gun work. So I definitely do like that. It's not just that trigger pull like with a lot of the other ones. And when you just have a gun like this in the house, that's something that's very important. I always tell people, when you have an everyday carry gun, that you can have something like a Glock, but if you have something that you want to have in the house, that is definitely something to consider. That guy there is very important, along with this guy here. You can definitely teach your kids all about gun safety and firearm safety. You can do that, and you should do that. However, having that extra precaution, having that extra step that they would have to take, it can definitely make a difference. And in a lot of instances, it can be a difference between life or death. When you're talking about like me and the Berettas, Beretta is more of the gun that I don't mind having in the house, because it has that decocker on it. And with that decocker, when I don't have that gun in my holster, like I always say, when I don't have that Beretta in my holster, you know, I have that decocker on just because of that. So it's like if a small child or something like that happens upon your firearm, which shouldn't happen, but if it does, then that child would have to be able to actually flip that external safety off, and then would have to still be able to go through the process of squeezing that trigger, which is, you know, like I said, difficult to do for a small child. So I definitely like that about this gun. Also too, this guy has this little, this is basically like it shows you that the gun is actually cocked, if you will. That's what this guy does. It'll actually be a little bit like inside to where you can't see it, but when it's like this is basically saying that the pistol is cocked. It's ready to rock and roll. So I definitely like that. It also has on the top here, when you actually load the magazine, it has the indicator to let you know that there is a round in the chamber. As you can see here, this guy is empty. It is clear. You can see, oh yeah, let me show you the other side too. This is awesome. So on the other side here, you have there we go. You have the Springfield Armory. That's also color-filled, the XDM, which is a little worn. You know, I got to tighten that up. But you can definitely see that, and that looks really cool. I love the way that Springfield, you know, just marks their guns. It makes it look really, really nice. And also here, this made in Croatia. Is that what it says? Yeah, it's from Croatia. That is like amazing. Let me see if I can get that camera to focus for me. Come on, baby, focus. But yeah, you can see that as well. Let me pull it down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, but that looks amazing too. With that color field there, it definitely stands out. So I like that, and she likes it too. So that's what matters, right? Absolutely. Now, another thing as far as capacity. Now, everyone knows my philosophy on capacity. When we're talking about capacity, we're talking about making sure that a gun has at least 13 rounds. That's my go-to. You need to have at least 13 rounds with something like this, and this gun definitely does have that, and it has not one, but count them, 2 options for capacity. And that's one of the biggest things that I liked about this gun, especially with it being a firearm that my wife carries. So this has the standard, what's that, 13 round magazine that fits so snug. It keeps the size down on this gun, so if you got it in your purse or you got it on your hip, whatever the case may be, that guy's right in there and it's nice and snug. Boom, right? Now, also what this guy has, that's 13 plus 1, so you got 14 rounds. This guy also has, and let's see if you can see that. So you see that right there, it goes up to 15. Nah, I got a little bit more than that. You slide that guy up, bam, 19 rounds. That's 19 tings. 19 rounds. So 19 plus 1 in the chamber, you're talking about 20 rounds. 20 rounds in a firearm like this is incredible. You don't see that anywhere. And it gives you that extra purchase on the gun when you're talking about just having that that whole palm thing, so it feels good in your hand. This is something that you can definitely go to work with. It feels good in the hand. It's very, very comfortable. And even on the new Springfields, they have that, what do they call it? Like Sure Grip or something grip. That feels really good too. My brother actually has that Springfield XD that has that that Pro Grip or whatever they call it on there. It feels amazing. But this feels very good as well. I love the way that this gun feels in my hand when I hold it. My wife shoots this gun very well, so this is definitely awesome. And there's that indicator there. You can see that guy, how it comes up. Let me see if I can move this guy around. There we go. So if you see right up here, you can see where that indicator lets you know that there's a round in the chamber, so that the gun basically is loaded. So that's definitely something that I definitely love about this firearm, is that capacity. And man, 20 rounds like that, that is just something you just don't see too often. I don't think I've ever seen that in a gun this small before that has that. Now, as far as shooting this gun shoots beautifully. It shoots very well. The just the weight and the balance on a gun like this size, usually what you'll have is a gun that's like really thin. You get a lot of kickback from this, but not with this gun. Like my Beretta PX4 Storm Subcompact, this handles that short barrel capacity, that short barrel feel. It handles it very well. It lets you, really feel the gun, and when you're putting those rounds on, you don't get that snap back like you do with a lot of small frame caliber pistols, small frame pistols. So I definitely like that. This guy also just has the standard sights on it. I don't know if we're gonna maybe upgrade these, but it just has your standard 3 dots, boom, and they work extremely well. This gun, like I said, it fires and it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. But just the craftsmanship of this gun, the way it feels, I love the extra grip on the slide where you can actually grab it and work that slide. When you're doing your overhand, this guy's right there. Even if you want to press check or something like that, you can definitely grab this guy right up front here and get your press check going. Now, one of the things that I did do, and I want to make sure that I'm not a gun expert in the least, so I definitely want to point out something that I did with this particular gun and didn't figure it out until the guys at the gun shop, shout out to Center Shot. They definitely helped me with this. So I frog lubed this gun. And one of the things that I did when I frog lubed it, I did make the mistake or the error of putting too much frog lube in this area here. And I learned that with these type of guns, striker fires, you don't want to get excessive amounts of oil, frog glue, whatever you're doing. You don't want to get it back in here in this part of the gun. You want to kind of keep this as dry as you possibly can for the most part. Maybe it's a dab, but you don't want to get. I had too much frog lube that had actually got down in there, and it was causing the gun to not fire consistently all the time. And I was like, man, this gun's fired beautifully. And ever since I frog lubed it, to my mistake, it didn't do that. It wasn't performing well. So I had the guys look at it. They figured it out. They pulled this guy apart, took the little back plate off, cleaned all that out. Gun went right back to tip-top shape and was working fine. It's been working beautifully ever since. So that's just a tip for everybody that's out there. If you're doing frog lube on your gun, now as far as the cleanliness of it, wiping it down, you can see this guy's beautiful, works very well. You don't have a lot of carbon buildup and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't get junky or gunky or whatever. It cleans up beautifully. But when you do have that frog lube, when you're doing that frog lube, make sure that you don't get it back in that little area there, because it will can cause you some problems down the line. You don't want that to happen. So that was pretty much it. We talked about the stainless steel slide, talked about the color field, we talked about the 19+1 and the 13+1 magazine capacity options, which I definitely love. Polymer frame, the 9mm caliber. They also make this in 45, I believe, and in 40. I know it's 45, so they definitely do that as well. So you do have some caliber options. Me, I am a 9mm guy. I like that as a everyday carry type of firearm. I like the capacity that it gives, and with the right type of ammo, you can definitely have your stopping power and all that good stuff too. So you don't necessarily have to have a big caliber gun to be able to have stopping power. So that's awesome. I'm going to actually do a video about calibers too, and just the different types of bullet and different types of ammo that's out there. So that'll be coming soon. But this is the Springfield XDM9 compact 3.8-inch barrel. Definitely a great buy, definitely a great gun. Little bit on the pricey side. You're looking in the upwards of $700 for something like this for the Springfields, but I can definitely say they are well worth it. So if you're definitely looking in the market for a compact pistol, or just a good 9mm or a good 45, definitely consider checking out and trying a Springfield. They are very well made firearms and they perform exceptionally well. So that'll be it for this guy. I am Brian Redmond. This is United Guns of America, and as always, first and foremost, remember to like and subscribe and share. Those things will be popping up here or here and there. There we go. You'll see stuff popping up for that. Make sure you subscribe, share this video, send it to somebody who may be thinking about guns, who may be thinking about buying a gun, don't know which one to buy. Send it to them. I got a list of gun videos that I've done on here. So I hope that you guys are liking this. Let me know in the comments. I am Brian Redmond. This is United Guns of America. And remember, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Peace, and I'm out. Thanks.